AETV. I am Samira Franklin, coming up with the headlines. Today is 12 March 2026, as well as Thursday, same in the Ghana month. 105,000 applicants qualified for security services, medicals, but only 5,000 slots available, the Interior Minister said. Without Asiedim Katier's help, I couldn't have won Iowa Southwest Rugon seats, John Dumelo said. New reforms will ensure transparency in public lands administration by the Deputy Lands Minister. Minority demands briefing over alleged Ghana-USA collaboration in Nigeria airstrikes. News in details. The Ministry of Interior has disclosed that although more than 105,000 applicants have progressed to the medical stage of the ongoing recruitment into Ghana's security services, but only 5,000 positions are currently available. Interior Minister Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak made the revelation while speaking to journalists on Wednesday, March 11th, after parliamentary proceedings. According to the minister, the large number of candidates who qualified followed the online aptitude test conducted as part of the recruitment process for the country's security agencies. He explained that although many applicants may successfully pass the medical examination, the limited intake capacity means only a small portion will eventually be recruited this year. We still have 105,000 who have qualified for medicals. In reality, the total number we can take after the medicals is 5,000. So we still face a huge challenge, he stated. Mr. Mohammed Mubarak urged applicants who may not be selected in the current exercise to remain patient, assuring that the government intends to retain their records for future recruitment opportunities. He disclosed that the president has directed that the data of candidates who successfully pass the medical stage be preserved for the next phase of recruitment. The minister indicated that additional recruitment opportunities are expected in 2026 once International Monetary Fund program constraints ease, but the president has instructed that those who qualified and passed medicals, let's keep their data. This is the first phase. The current recruitment is for 2025. Hopefully, when we are out of the IMF program, we will conduct the 2026 recruitment and draw from the same pool of applicants, he explained. Mr. Mohammed Mutaka Mubarak reiterated the government committed to expanding opportunities for young people, adding that more qualified applicants will be absorbed into the security services as the country's physical situation improves. The Ministry of the Interior has defended the introduction of an artificial intelligence aptitude test in the ongoing security services recruitment exercise, stating that the measure was necessary to manage the overwhelming number of applicants. Briefing the media about the concerns raised by the security service recruitment, the minister said a structured system was indeed to manage the overwhelming number of applicants seeking to join the security services. This explanation comes after minority leader Alexander Afenwa-Markin called for the removal of the artificial intelligence aptitude test used in the current recruitment process for Ghana's security agencies, fighting major technical challenges faced by the applicants.
definitely you have to develop something that will help. You may talk about how fair the thing is or how unfair it is, but what method are you going to use as a way of not using human interference? So that I look at you and say, okay, you can go. You are too short, you can't go. You are too fair, you can't go. That one is too tall. I mean, so you have to use a system that is devoid of human interference to enable the system to carry you to that end. Yes, I know the disappointment. I know the difficulty. But the issue is about joblessness and not issue about the security. And all of us know, you want to get a professional police officer. You want to get a professional immigration officer. You just don't want any person who will go in. I mean, I'm sorry to say this. We are having a challenge with people with mental issues in the service. You have people with drug issues in the service. All these things are things that you use. And through that, some people will fall along the way to enable you get, someone said, about the best of best. So I know a lot of young people may be disappointed, but they should exercise restraint.
On the same issue, the president has instructed that we keep the data of those who will qualify in this year's recruitment. Hence, those who do not make this year will be picked in the 2026 recruitment. Interior Minister Mutaka Mohammed Mubarak.
The president instructed that, look, those who qualify and pass medicals, let's keep the data. This is the first phase. We are hoping that maybe later in the, because remember this current recruitment that we are doing is a 2025 recruitment. Hopefully when we are out of the IMF, we could do the 2026. So we'll pick from that same data. Hopefully, if maybe it's past 6 months, then you can only ask them to repeat medicals, but not to start opening the process all over again. The president instructed.
The Member of Parliament of Ayawaso West Wugon, John Dumelo, has credited National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, John Asiedun Ketia, with his overwhelming win during the 2024 parliamentary elections in the constituency. He said Mr. Nketia contributed greatly to rallying the rank and the file of the party while the constituency to vote massively for him. 2024 for this seat. Without him, I don't think we would have been able to get the 13,000 vote margin that we got for the first time in Ayawaso West Wugon. But I can assure him that despite everything that is going on, we will increase the votes from 13,000 to 17,000 or 20,000 in the Ayawaso West Wugon. We will not rest. We will make sure we work hard, he said when Mr. Nketia visited the constituency on his thank you tour on March 11. Mr. Dumelo noted, however, that this seat can be achieved only if the youth in the constituency have jobs to do. But one thing is very important. The only way we can achieve this is about jobs. Jobs for the grassroots. That is very, very important. Everybody's talking about jobs. And so please help the grassroots. Help us to be able to help the grassroots. Because I can assure you that the good work that all the grassroots did, we need to reward them. He stressed. Dr. Dumelo explained that I have a limit. I can only do so much. If I have 3 or 4 slots and there are the 1,000 people who want their jobs, I can only give it to 3. What about the rest of the 997 people or 969 people? So please, I know for a fact that you are a listening leader and you make sure the grassroots get the jobs and get it in time. The Ayawaso West Wugon MP used the occasion to appeal to members of the NDC who feel left out in the opportunities created by the government not to lose hope. The other issue which I'm also very passionate about is also about opportunities for everybody. I know that in the 2028, some people will fall off. Some will be angry with the party. but I want to urge each and everyone that we here don't lose hope. In 2028, we need to keep the momentum. 2028, we need to make sure the NDC is retained when it comes to the general election. In 2028, all I can tell you is that if Akwesi has a job, you too will get a job. If Abna has a job, you too, your time will come. So don't worry, the jobs will come, the opportunities will come. Be assured. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, Mr. Nketia said he puts in extra effort to win the seat of honor to honor the party faithfully who were manhandled during a by-election in the constituency. I gave special attention to Ayawaso West Wugon because of what some of our comrades suffered in this constituency under the previous administration. By the grace of God, we did not only win the seat, we won with a huge margin, he said. He urged the youth to take advantage of the ongoing of membership registration exercise to join the party officially. Member of Parliament of the Ablekuma West constituency, Reverend Kweku Ado, visited Mkwasi Methodist School to inspect progress on phase 1 of the 18-unit classroom block project, which began in the November 2025 and has recorded significant development. Minority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin is alleging this scheme in Parliament to stifle the voice of the MPP group by the continuous failure of the House to patronize the concerns of the minority. According to the minority leader, the motion he said has failed in the voice to investigate in the dismissal of persons employed under the MPP has still not been fully debated, despite it appearing on the other paper of the constituency.
There was a letter from the Chief of Staff directing that recruitment that took place after the election should be terminated. However, state agencies decided to go back to 2017-18. People who have been in the employ of state-owned institutions, not just the civil service, since 2018, were sacked. Attempt to bring this matter to the public space remains frustrated. The first was a preliminary objection by the majority leader, and when we filed an appeal, though the appeal motion was allowed, but the debate is still in abeyance. The motion was moved, seconded, and one contributor was taken. It's been 8 months. It always appears on the other paper. We are unable to take it. Why? A motion was filed in good faith, in accordance with the rules, in respect of Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board. Since December, same was admitted and advertised on the other paper. We have been in session since we have resumed. This is our 6th week or so. Government businesses have found space, but the single business of the minority is yet to be taken. Though the will of the majority is in all cases to prevail, that will must be reasonable, that the minority possess their equal rights, which equal law.
Government has announced a comprehensive set of reforms aimed at strengthening transparency, accountability, and the efficiency in the administration of public land across the country. Addressing a press conference on Wednesday, 11th March 2026, the Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Alhaji Dr. Yusuf Suleimana, revealed that the reforms are part of the cabinet directive currently being implemented by the Ministry of Collaborations with the Lands Commission to restore integrity in public land management. The ministry also introduced a new premium framework of public land leases, which requires at least 70% of assigned market value of public land be paid upfront, with the remaining 30% spread over the tenure of the lease as group rent. Sulemana noted that the reform is designed to enhance revenue generation for the state and prevent situations where individuals paid widely varying premium for similar lands in the past. Sulemana explained that one of the key reforms is the revision of the public land application form, popularly known as Form 5, which will now serve as the single mandatory application instrument for all public land transactions nationwide. The revised form will be used for both new applications and reapplications by the individuals whose earlier applications were cancelled during the recent review exercise. To enhance accessibility and efficiency, the Lands Commission has also been directed to publish the form on its official website to allow applicants to download, complete, and submit their application electronically. The Deputy Minister further disclosed that the ministry has undertaken a comprehensive review of the Lands Commission internal process for allocating public lands. Under the new framework, the stages involved in the processing application have been clearly defined, with stronger internal checks and verification mechanisms introduced to ensure transparency and traceability in the decision making. Significantly, no public land will be allocated without the priority approval of the minister, a measure expected to strengthen ministerial oversight and ensure that allocations align with national policy objectives, he said. Another major reform announced at the briefing is the standardization of the land market values of estates across the country. According to Sulemana, the ministry and the Lands Commission have compiled reliable market values for several prime estates, including over 30 estates within Greater Accra region. He explained, these values will be published on the Lands Commission website, guide the assessment of land premiums, eliminate discretionary pricing, ensuring fairness and value for money in all public land allocations. Additionally, a public land protection task force will soon inaugurated to prevent encroachment on state lands, pause authorized development, and prosecute offenders where necessary. He added that the temporary suspension on public land transaction has now been lifted, although all services will operate strictly under the new reforms. Mr. Sulemana also disclosed that the ministry has initiated the procurement process for the national digitalization of Ghana's land administration system, funded largely through the Lands Commission internally generated funds, a move expected to significantly modernize land services and reduce human interference in the land transaction. The government of Ghana has commended a drone-related incident near Dubai International Airport after two Ghanaian nationals sustained injuries on the Tuesday, March 11, 2026. In a press statement issued by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, authorities said they have been informed by the officials in the United Arab Emirates about the incident which occurred in the vicinity of the airport earlier in the day. The drone event reportedly resulted in injuries of two Ghanaians who were present in the area at that time. According to the ministry, the injured individuals are currently receiving medical treatment and their condition is not considered critical. Officials say they are expected to make a full recovery. The ministry strongly condemned any act of endanger civilian lives of critical infrastructure, stressing that such incidents pose serious threats on public safety. Authorities also highlighted the importance of protecting civilians and safeguarding key international transport hubs, including the major airports. In response to the incident, Ghana's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates led a delegation comprising officials from the Ghanaian embassy in Abu Dhabi and the consuls in Dubai to visit the injured nationals in the hospital. Here comes the end of the morning news on AETV. Headline recaps. 105,000 applicants qualified for security service medicals, but only 5,000 slots available, Interior Minister stated. Without Asiedin Ketie's help, I couldn't have won Ayawaso West Wugon seat, by John Dumelo. New reforms will ensure transparency in public lands administration, Deputy Lands Minister said. Minority demands briefing over alleged Ghana-USA collaboration in Nigeria airstrikes. I am Samira Franklin. Up next, sports segment. Good morning.